Welcome back to Investing with Confidence on this great holiday week. We love summertime. It's a beautiful weekend, beautiful week if you're listening to the show during the week because it is aired multiple times per week in multiple locations nationwide. And we have investing classes at all of our academies. If you're listening to the show, we have a local academy near you, and we have investing classes to teach you the different skills and techniques, especially as Al was talking about in that last segment for income strategies. So if you're looking for income strategies, maybe on top of your job or in the evening or in the morning, depending on what time you like to do things, there's strategies in the markets. So text right now to be introduced to those different strategies. Text investing to the number 210-210. That's investing to the number 210-210 for two free tickets for the investing class. Also, a quick start kit that will actually help you get started right away if you're new to the markets, or if you've been in the markets for many years, maybe some different techniques and concepts that might be new to you. So, Al, in this segment here, I was talking with some family recently, and they all know what I do. And, sometimes when I talk to them, they look at me like I have two heads because most people just don't understand the financial markets, which is normal
Mhm.
because you're trained and conditioned to not understand them. And they're like, wow, man, I don't even want to look at my retirement account 401k because I know it's down. I've been watching the news and they're saying, oh, things are going down. So I'm worried to even look at my accounts. And I said, well, how come? I said, well, I'm getting near retirement and I just don't want to know. And I said, well, okay, tell me this. You're getting near retirement. You want to retire on your terms, right? They said, yeah, I want to be able to retire on my terms. And I said, well, why wouldn't you want to know what's happening in there? They said, well, I don't think I can do anything with it.
Right,
I'm
that's
not sure
yep.
what I have access to. I said,
Mhm.
okay, well, there are opportunities and strategies and things you might be able to do with those different retirement accounts. And we're talking about these 401ks and IRAs, and there's our strategies for opportunities for down markets in those accounts. So in this segment, Al, I want you to kind of explain some of those opportunities that people have. People know that, or people don't know that there's opportunities, but they don't even know that you might even have access to directing a little bit more, even if you have a company like a 401k. So, what are some of those techniques and strategies that you talk a lot about in these investing classes at Online Trading Academy?
Yeah, well, first of all, the reason that people are uh, concerned about looking at their statements, their portfolio statements, is because they're afraid. They're afraid to see what
Yep.
the number is. They're afraid to see that the number is not going to get them where they want to go or have them live the lifestyle they want in retirement. It's that fear. But if you're looking at your statement and you're not willing to do something about it, then maybe you shouldn't look at it. But if you're willing to put a little effort into this, there are things that you can do to change that number. And there are assets that we teach, we talk about in these classes. In fact, we talk about dynamic 401k management is what we call it. It can help you to maybe do a better job of managing what's in your 401k. In fact, do you even know what's in it? If you don't, you should, and you should know how to maybe roll or not roll, but to change maybe from one mutual fund or one index fund to another because they're not all performing the same. Another thing that people are concerned about is they think that the assets we're talking about, that the institutions are using, futures, Forex, options, that it costs too much money to do that. One of the great things about those assets is they trade with leverage, which means you can actually have a smaller account and control a much bigger investment. It's really
Hmm.
maximizing the value of your investment dollars. It's kind of eliminating or reducing the barrier to entry for a lot of people. Uh, but these are the assets that we teach. It's not something that's not available to you. It is available to you. It's just that you are not being taught about it. Your advisor's not talking to you about it, and in very few cases do they do that. But a lot of people want to take more control over their assets when they realize what is available to them. And a great way to do that is to set up a self-directed retirement account. If you have a 401k or 403b where you're getting a match from an employer, that's free money. That's worth getting. But then you're encouraged to put more money and keep putting money
Hmm.
into. And what you're doing is you're putting money into an account that you're paying high fees for on a regular basis. You're putting money into something that maybe gets you 4 or 5% average annual average returns with exposure to 40, 50, 60% drawdowns.
Which is happening right now.
It's happening right now. So people are getting a very crude wake up call to what the market can do. As self-directed account, you eliminate the fees. You can use the assets that we teach, the options, futures, Forex. You can still do stock. You can do mutual funds if you want to, but come in and let us talk to you about that and why maybe that's not the best way to do it. What about protection? When you work 40 years or whatever number of years you work before you retire, how would you like to have worked hard, put money into a retirement account, and then lose 40, 50, 60% of it the year you retire, the year after you retire, the year before you retire? That's what's happening to a lot of people right now because they don't know how to protect their assets. That is, I would say, the number one thing that we teach our students is how to manage risk. You have to be able to do that. And it's not hard. It's not like it's this concept that takes a mathematician or a genius to follow. It's just, again, getting down to the right price, which will determine the quality of your protection and also the amount of profit that is available to you.
You're right. Yeah, there's different strategies for whatever people are looking to do. Especially, you have access to these, as Al is talking about, when you self-direct, and you're not required to have a broker. Actually, someone told me I'm supposed to have a broker and advisor. You do not need a broker or an advisor. Not to put the people down, it's the industry, because technically it's a storage facility for your money. They just put you in investment, and they don't look at it. And by the way, how many calls have people gotten in their retirement accounts the past 6 months saying, hey, here's how we're going to protect what you have so you have more longevity in the markets? I'm assuming most people have not got a call. So your accounts are not being protected. If you want to learn more about those techniques and concepts to do it yourself, if you're a do-it-yourselfer, come to one of these investing classes. Text right now. Text the word investing for 2 tickets to the number 210-210. That's text investing to the number 210-210 to learn more about those techniques and strategies to do it yourself. So you brought up that 4-letter F word, Alan. We got a couple minutes here. Maybe we'll lead this into the next segment as well. But I just want to paint a picture before we talk about these fees on the next segment. So here's what's happening right now with people's accounts. If you have a 401k, if you have an IRA, whatever that retirement account is, what's happening is the market is going down. So accounts are losing to the market.
Right.
But also, I like to call it, when I teach these investing classes, there's also a hand in the cookie jar.
Right.
And it's that 4-letter F word. It's fees that people are still paying for someone to hold their money and lose it for them in retirement accounts. It's fees. So your losses right now are being amplified. And that's what happened in 2000. That's what happened in 2008. And it's happening again. If you went through those experiences, especially 2008, maybe 2000, that might be too far for most people that are listening right now, but don't let that happen to you again. Don't do nothing about your hard-earned money. So real quick, Al, in about 20 seconds, other than fees, is there anything anything else people can do to maybe protect more right now? Is there anything else besides self-directing and eliminating that? Is there a better way to manage it?
Well, yeah, the assets that we're talking about can be used, first of all, in down markets, but options can be used as a protective vehicle, like an insurance policy. And we talk about that in these classes. I think options probably is the most versatile asset because it can be used for extra income. It can be used to grow your accounts, but it also can be used as protection. And then we talk about other ways too. They're using stop losses, the right size trades that you're doing. There are a number of things that you can do to eliminate the potential big losses and protect the assets you have.
Yeah, that's, I think, the key thing. And I know I've sat in some of those investing classes that you teach, just the knowledge that you have with retirement accounts. I mean, you were in that industry. You know what's happening there. And these are the type of people that you guys want to learn from, is people that have been in the markets, have done some of the stuff that we're talking about right now in the past, just as a past thing they did, and kind of what came to the good side, and now helping people just like you to make smarter investing decisions, have opportunities to protect what you have the opportunity to keep more of what you have. That's how you build longevity. in the financial markets. If you want to learn more about that, Al teaches these classes locally at our academies. We have classes during the week, we have them on the weekends, also in the evening. So time is not a factor for anybody. I get people that come to these classes, business owners that sometimes, business
Mhm.
owners work 23 hours a day. There's still opportunities. It's where do you want to allocate your time? Is your finances worth it to you? I think you're worth it to your finances. So come into one of these investing classes right now. Text the word investing to the number 210 210. That's investing to the number 210 210. And another one of those characteristics, as promised at the first segment here, is you got to be coachable. Some of the things that we're going to talk about here, we have been talking about, and we talk about in these investing classes, they're not new. They're just a little bit different. So you have to be willing to learn. You're not going to find it on that crap on YouTube and books. It's a skill that Online Trading Academy teaches to make smarter investing decisions. So you do have to be coachable. If you feel you're coachable, come into one of these classes. Text investing to the number 210 210. Coming up next, that four-letter F word, fees and retirements. This is Josh and Al. We'll be right back.